How's it going, class? My name is John Crane, and I will be introducing you to the Mars Company. Many of us might know Mars for their candy bars. They're pretty tasty. What a lot of people might not know is besides the candy and the treats that Mars bring to offer, they actually do a lot of work for the community. They save and help the environment in many ways. Being such a large company, over the years they've been able to watch and develop a keen insight as to how they can better source their ingredients and better distribute them so that it doesn't take a huge toll on the environment. Mars Incorporated was created by someone named Frank C. Mars. Mars is a family company, so for over 5 generations, the family has been watching, observing, learning, and curating the way that they produce goods in order to make it effectively cost efficient and also more sustainable for the environment. In 1972, Mars Inc. incorporated pet care products. So they went from focusing on candy to thinking outside of the box and now moving on to care about animals as well. So they went from focusing on human consumable goods to now including animals. So this was their first step into reaching out into the environment and trying to participate. By 1994, Mars Incorporated had purchased shares at Banfield Pet Hospital. So they went from making the pet's food to now owning and contributing to pet hospitals. The following year, in 1995, scientists doing research for Mars Incorporated developed and published their research findings on cocoa flavonoids. In 2010, Mars decided to make the commitment to sustainable sourcing. All of their efforts led up to their announcement in 2010 when they announced that they would be acquiring their goods from sustainable sources from now on. And over time, Mars grew into something bigger than just a basic company. It grew into something that was affecting life in general. So they made the responsible decision to transition into a more sustainable approach for the environment.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdi Mohammed as part of our group project to deliver a presentation about Mars companies, the newly innovative, creative and successful project that aimed to protect our uh, environment across the global perspective and as part of its long-lastingly historical mission to develop important social and environmental protection that is focused to refine its extent of the economic prosperity. This project now has transferred its glorious global leadership to create a vision, becomes an integral work of many scientific procedures, many entrepreneurship, business, strategic workforce, government groups, and social cultural advocates that are supporting this project. New form of the revolutionary environmental protection in our world. It's called Sustainable Energy Generation Plan. It's definitely developed a idea that on its groundwork of the mission has three interdisciplinary work. The first one necessarily is called Healthy Planets. It's just achieving the goal of sending ground zero waste of landfills from our facilities, reducing the plastic garbage from 20% to reusable, basically recycling use, and of course also reducing the gas emissions through renewable efficiency that try to also maintain a good level of the producing food is a great idea. Also to direct form of the operating the impact of the environmental improvement is through the extension of the food chain supply. The share value that necessarily is stressing the idea to boost the caliber of the land force, water resources, and climate action, and is definitely originated to combine with the ingredients and land use of agricultural exchanges that necessarily are effective in growing the ingredients we use for production. The other idea, thriving people. Of course, distribution of the idea sources to help communities and workplaces across the country who are farmers, land force, basically organizers, agriculture activists, and organize people who actually need to have economic prosperity, claim ethics, and unlocking opportunities to be able live in a good quality condition, and of course producing a good fare of farming, agriculture, and plantation for the bigger chain of the family, companies, factories, and other across the country. This relationship can necessarily work well to develop that idea. Of course, that was the second major principle of this project. And third one is nourishing welfare, which is public's information, have an ability to access information, technological innovation, and products that has been profitably marketable, has innovative vision, and has basically landscape of technical ability and platform for technological advancement to share the ideas that can necessarily put across a transitional rank of the dynamic profile for individuals and agencies across the country, especially in USA, and for places like Africa and South America, which economically needs to be more prosperous. And this also leads to a promising future towards protecting our environment.
An essential part of the Mars Company's Sustainable Intergeneration Plan is to enable people to thrive by engaging in a network of partners ranging from nonprofit organizations to governments. Their focus is on increasing income, respecting human rights, and unlocking opportunities for women. Their goal of increasing income has been made by making investments in their cocoa, mint, and rice supply chains. They have created the Farmer Income Lab, which is a collaborative think tank to help find new approaches to driving increases in farmer income. In 2015, the Mars Company helped found Fund for Family Farming, which began by investing over 120 million euros to develop sustainable agriculture on more than 200,000 farms around the world. Their second goal of respecting human rights, the Mars Company has worked with the United Nations Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights to create the CARES framework. CARES stands for Commit to Policies and Practices, Build Governance and Capabilities, Assess Impacts across our value chain, actively listen to people, respond as we seek to prevent, address, and remediate impacts in collaboration with industry, government, and civil service, and to engage transparently, sharing our successes and challenges. In the United Kingdom, recently the Mars Company provided over 3 million meals to charity partners and first responders. And within the last month, the Mars Company has donated over 1.9 million in funds for the worldwide coronavirus relief effort. And back in March, the Mars Associates came together to donate medical supplies to frontline workers around the world. The CARES framework has been specifically implemented in their biomedical and clinical research involving human participants. The Mars Company has chosen to involve human participants in their biomedical and clinical research to gain fundamental insights into human and nutritional well-being, which is an essential part of environmental sustainability. And their last goal is unlocking opportunities for women. The Mars Company has done so by working with the United Nations in creating a plan called the Unstereotype Alliance to fight harmful gender stereotyping in advertising in countries such as India. This plan enables women to make decisions in the cocoa farming communities and households while providing resources to help women farmers improve yields and income. Along with the Women's Empowerment Plan, the Mars Company has also created the Protecting Children Action Plan. This plan ensures that child labor within their cocoa supply chain is strictly monitored and prevented. And by combining the two initiatives, the Mars Company has further created educational opportunities for the children of the women who work in their cocoa supply chain. And lastly, as of April 2020, the Mars Company has donated about $2 million to the United Nations World Food Program to aid in the transport and delivery of critical supplies for all United Nations agencies as they respond to the current pandemic. And they have also made a $1 million donation to the Humane Society International to help cats and dogs that have been abandoned, left behind, or surrendered to shelters due to their owners falling ill or no longer having the financial means to care for them. They are currently working to make more donations to support the communities in which helps them operate. Thank you.
So, a part of Mars Incorporated sustainability plan, their nourishing and well-being covers 3 categories: food safety and security, product renovation, and marketing responsibly. So, for their food safety and security, 4.5 billion people per year they're exposed to mycotoxins and alpha toxins that are found in agricultural crops that accumulate 25% of the world's food supply, and that is costing 600 million up to $1 billion per year in lost earnings. So to combat that, the Mars Incorporated, they have a food safety center. It's called their Global Food Safety Center, also known as the GFSC, and it's a research facility that's dedicated to address food safety. Their main goal is to combat undernutrition, primarily in low-income countries. So they partner with non-government organizations, academic scholars, governments, and industry stockholders to ensure safer foods are provided to consumers. The African Orphan Crop Consortium, so the AOCC, it's an African organization that is focusing on sequencing genomes from 101 different African crops that are for millions of African farmers. This also helps to reduce the malnutrition that 30% of African children are affected by it, and it costs Africa $125 billion per year. So the main goal for that category is really much about the food safety and combating malnutrition for people in need in developing nations. So the second category is their product renovation. President Fiona Dawson, she's the global president for the Mars Food and Multisale and Mars global customers. So she made a statement under that progress report about how in their 1 billion meals was a Mars Incorporation project that started in 2016, and it was the goal to 1 billion meals to families in need around the world before 2021. Their new goal is to reach 4 billion meals delivered to family tables around the world. And then the main goal under their product renovation is to also advocate healthy meal choices. So with working with the World Health Organization, the WHO, they've followed the recommended criteria that WHO has, and they made sure Mars makes sure that their product nutrition follows that guidelines. So that under the 2019 progress, they dialed back on added sugars, fat, and sodium in their products. They also even capped products such as like candies and sweets to be smaller proportion, and they cap at 250 calories or less, and that's a part of the product renovation. And lastly, their marketing responsibly. They hold the core values with their marketing since 2007 when they first launched it, and they update it every 3 years into making sure that they don't advertise to kids from 12 and under. This also includes 13 and under on digital media, social media. They educate parental guardians on the nutritional information they need to provide and decide what's best for their kids and for children to eat, along with not using celebrities and licensed like character mascots from other companies to market and advertise to their consumers.